In this video, I'm going to show you how to find the equation of an ellipse if you're given the center of the ellipse and 2 points. Okay, so in the problem here, here's my center, is this value over here, -1, 2, and it passes through the point 0, 6, and it also passes through the point -7, 3. Okay, now since it's an ellipse, we're supposed to know whether it's a vertical or horizontal one, but in this problem it won't matter which I do, because remember, an ellipse, if you use the wrong equation, it won't really matter as long as you get the right a and b under the correct x and y, because there's a plus sign. If we get to hyperbolas, then it will matter whether it's vertical or horizontal. Okay, so the general form of an ellipse is x minus h squared over a squared. Okay, remember, a is actually equal to the length of half the major axis. But in this case, I'm not sure which is the major and which is the minor. So, okay, and then y minus k squared over b squared. Okay, and that's equal to 1. Okay, so the first thing I always do is I'm just going to put the center into my equation for the h and the k. So that'll give me x, and number's going to become plus 1 squared over a squared plus, and then put the y coordinate in for the k, so y minus 2 squared over b squared equals 1. Okay, so now I don't know a or b, but I do know 2 points. So this is the case where I'm going to have to plug the 0 in for x and a 6 in for y. Okay, that'll give me one equation with an a squared and a b squared in it. And then I'm going to put -7 in for x and 3 in for y. That'll give me a second equation with an a squared and a b squared in. And then I can use my matrices to solve for a squared and b squared. Remember, I'm actually going to be solving for 1 over a squared and 1 over b squared. Okay, so let's put the point 0, 6 in first, and I'm putting them into the equation that I have in green. So that's going to be 0 plus 1 squared over a squared, and then plus the y coordinate I have is 6, so that'll be 6 minus 2 squared divided by b squared equals 1. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing again with the point -7, 3. Okay, so I'm going to put the -7 in for x, so -7 plus 1, that's all squared over a squared, plus, and then I'm going to have the 3 in for the y, so 3 minus 2 squared over b squared equals 1. Okay, and I'm just going to have my calculator figure out the numbers as I go. I'm not even going to worry about figuring out anything, except I just have it do in the matrices. So we're going to go into the matrix. Okay, remember, we're going to go over to edit, and I'm just going to put mine in matrix A to start with. Okay, so the first entry is going to be this right here, where I have 0 plus 1 squared. So first I got to tell it's 2 by 3. I'm just going to do parentheses, 0 plus 1 squared. Okay, and then when I press enter, it'll just do that calculation for me. Okay, and then the next one is going to be 6 minus 2 squared. Same idea, when I press enter, it just does a calculation for me. And then I have a 1. And then the next entry will be parentheses -7 plus 1 squared. Okay, and I'll calculate that. And then the last one is 3 minus 2 squared. If you want to do these in your head, you can. Okay, but if they get harder to do, you can just have it done right here on your calculator. Okay, squared, I forgot to square it, sorry. Okay, and then I entered that one and 1. Okay, so at this point, look and make sure that the matrix that you have typed in matches what I have. If it doesn't, then you need to stop the recording, figure out what you did wrong, okay, and then go back and make sure it matches. Okay, so now that I have my matrix put in, I'm just going to go in and go back to the matrix menu. Okay, I did second quit first, and then second matrix. In the math menu, we are going to choose letter B. Remember, we do B for Beth. Oops. Okay, That's that RREF command. Okay, so press enter. Right, go back to the matrix menu, and we're going to choose A because that's where I typed it in. Okay. And oops, in parentheses, and then I'll press enter. And then the next step is I'm actually going to convert this to a fraction. So I'm just going to go into the math menu and choose the first one there, which is convert to a fraction. And then I need to press enter again so it actually does it for me. Okay, so what I actually have now is it tells me what 1 over a squared is and 1 over b squared. Okay, so come back over here. So I know 1 over a squared is equal to 3 over 115. And 1 over b squared was equal to 7 over 115. Okay. Now, what I actually even need is 1 over a squared. So there's no reason to actually solve for a or even a squared because the a squared here is already in the denominator. So the 3 is going to go up in the numerator and the 115 is just going to go in the denominator. Okay. Now, I'll go ahead and show you what happens. If I were to solve this for a squared, I'd get a squared is equal to 115 over 3. Okay, I want to work just with this term right here for a second. So that's going to give me over here x plus 1 squared divided by parentheses 115 over 3. But if you remember how you multiply fractions, this just gets flipped. So the 3 comes up to the top, and that's x plus 1 squared, and then the 115 is on the bottom. And if you notice, that's the fraction I started out with, was 3 over 115. So I don't even have to worry about doing this step here of actually solving for a squared, so we won't even do it. All I need to do now is just write my equation. Okay, so using the green equation I have over here, I'm going to substitute my 1 over a squared and my 1 over b squared for 1, let me get a different color here for a second, for 1 over a squared and 1 over b squared that I have here. Okay, so this 1 over a squared was 3 over 115, so this becomes 3 times x plus 1 squared divided by 115. Do the same thing for the next term, so plus, and that'll be y minus 2 squared, right? 1 over b squared is 7 over 115, so I'm just going to put my 7 there and my 115 on the bottom, and then that whole thing equals 1. Okay, so that means that right here is my final answer for solving it.